welcome to our English introduction to the content management system of our mobile event app. My name is Ronja Leine, and today I will show you the most important aspects, features, and settings you need to know when working on your very own mobile event app. Throughout this webinar, I will be using terms such as backend, CMS, or content management system. But you don't need to be confused by this because all those terms refer to the very same thing in the end, which is the interface we are looking at right now. This is the CMS. Here you are able to change the app according to your wishes, fill it with content, and take a look at analytics. I will show you the different areas one by one, so let's start. After you received your login information and backend address, you can open the CMS, log in, and arrive at this starting point. As we want to work on the MEA, we follow this path and come into the global area of the app. Here you can see the conventions which were already created. There will always be at least one demo convention as a reference, so you can take a look at the way certain configurations were done. Open the menu via a click or a hover to see your options in this area. As this is the global part of the CMS, the settings will affect the whole app, and the information you can find here is a collection of the data which belongs to the single conventions combined. For example, the user profiles, which we will look into at a later point. Well, the first thing you want to do when starting with the configuration of your app is to change its appearance according to your corporate design. To do this, we will open the menu item Launch Screen. And as the name does imply, this is the first image your app users will see when opening the app. So we recommend to use a significant key visual or maybe your logo. As you can see, we only use one picture for the different screen sizes, so you need to keep in mind that certain parts of the image can be cut off, like here on the iPhone X. Give this information to your graphic department so they can create a fitting image. You can also download a Photoshop file that will assist you in creating the launch screen. After you upload your picture, you can check how it looks on the different screen sizes and maybe change the alignment. Right now there is an alignment of middle center, and I will change it to top center, so I'll be sure that my logo will always be visible. When you are content with the way everything looks, save the page and we'll continue on the next menu item, which is the Start screen. The Start screen is the second view your user will encounter after the app start. On this page, you can determine how the user will gain access to the app. The first thing you can activate or deactivate is the guest login. With the guest login, your user won't need any login credentials and can easily start their app experience. When you like this approach, don't want to use the chat feature, and don't have exclusive information within the app, you can decide against the login with credentials at all by deactivating the login. But if you want to use the login, you need to activate it again. And also, if you want your users to be able to create an account by themselves, you need to activate the registration. Should the user also be able to recover the password after they forgot it, activate the password recovery function. If you want to adjust the colors of the buttons and links, you can do this down here, maybe by drag and drop or by putting in the right color. And as you can see on the right side, you have a live preview of all the changes and how everything will look in the end. You can even upload a logo file if you want it to be displayed on this page. So we will try this one out. See how everything looks. Not so well right now. So maybe we'll come back later with a better logo file, and we will keep it this way. Now that we are finished with this view, we click on Publish and head over to the next sections. Well, we already adjusted the colors of the buttons on this view. To change the global app colors, we head over to the color page. Here you can use your corporate design guides to change the most important action colors. If you need to look them up first, no problem. You can come back here anytime you like and change something. Like maybe the secondary color will change to something darker. After you click on Publish, your changes will immediately be available within the app. The last thing we will change within the global sections are the legal text, which can be found under Settings. Put in your imprint, a privacy policy that explains how the user data will be handled and saved, and the general terms of use, which can be found at the bottom. You can use the editor to change the text style and insert links. If you need feedback from your legal department before publishing anything, you can, again, come back here at a later date to insert or change the texts. Now that we are done with the general settings, we will create the convention that will then be filled with content. To create a new event, go to the menu and open the convention list. Here you can see a list of the conventions that were already created with more information too: languages, dates, and time zones. You can either copy an already existing convention or create a new event. Insert the name of the event and keep the first switches as they are. If you put one of those two switches to no, the convention won't be visible within the app. This may come in handy when working within a multi-event app that has already a lot of users and active conventions in it. This way the users won't see your convention in its unfinished state, but you also won't have the possibility to check your progress. So, to make your convention invisible to regular app users, but keep it visible for the support, we choose a group for which this convention will be meant. This is a group I created beforehand and which I will use while preparing the event within the app. I will get back to creating groups and their purposes in just a minute, but let's finish here first. If you already have the consent of your participants to be displayed within the app, you can set the third switch to yes. This way you won't have a participant list that grows with the convention and the number of logins, but a list that's already complete, whether the guests use their login or not. You can adjust the language and the time zone, put in a location, and you can even upload a convention image. Finish the process with clicking on Create and you're done. Now you can see your new event within the list and continue your work within the second CMS level, which is the convention area. Enter this area via the convention list by clicking on Select. In the header, you can now see we are no longer in the global area, but in the area of the convention. To give you more of an idea how the app and the CMS works, we will continue in another convention which already has a lot of content. You will notice that our menu here contains much more entries and features than the global menu. We will take a look at the most used features, but if you still have questions regarding other features or need more in-depth information, please use our white papers and help desk articles or contact your customer support. We will start with the person section and the groups that I mentioned before. Compared to the global area, which shows all app users and groups of the system, the convention area view will be emptier at the beginning. Please note that you can create persons in both areas, but that you need at least one group within the convention area to successfully create a new person. Therefore, we will first look at the groups of this section. Why are we using groups and what are they here for? Well, Groups are a very important and powerful tool while working with the mobile event app because they help you sort the different types of persons that will use your app and provide them with different content. For example, we create a group that's called guests and a group speakers. Both groups have a parent group that's called test conventions participants. As you can see, to make a group to a parent group, we just drag and drop other groups underneath it. Now, when importing or creating new people, we can decide if they are regular guests or speakers and put them into the groups we just created. Throughout the app, there are a lot of features that can be visible to specific groups, which means there could be an individual schedule for speakers that the regular guests won't see, and a general schedule for the guests, which won't be visible to people of the speakers group. Furthermore, we will be able to send a push notification to everyone via the parent group or contact only the speakers. While working in this section, try to imagine which kind of groups you need and if there will be content that shall only be visible to a certain group of people. Now that we have established a first group structure, we head over to the profile settings and the profile page where we will create our first speakers. To create a new person, we could either use the Excel import or create the person by hand by clicking on this button. Now, if the person we are creating shall have access to the app, you need to put in a username and a password and inform said person of those. As we only want to create a speaker for our schedule, we will skip those fields and put in the information we have, which is title, name, company, and position. And we will add the person to the group speakers, which we created just now. Also, let's upload a picture. And we're done. If you have a number of people you want to create, we would recommend you use the Excel import as you can create many people in one go. Also, if there are a lot of people in the section and you need to find a specific person, you could use the search or one of the filters down here. Let's have a look at the next section and the schedule. Let's head over to the app and see how everything looks here. This is what a complete schedule will look like within the app. It consists of sessions and separators. It can have multiple days here, and with categories, you can structure more complex agendas. A session can have a specific time frame, a location, description, and speakers, as you can see here. It can have documents and interactive elements, which I will show you right now. Before you start with creating the sessions, you will need days and maybe one or two categories. Those can be created here and here. Please keep in mind that the color you choose for your category will be displayed in the schedule and the filter. To create a new session, we open the schedule page and click on this button. Now you can decide if you're creating a separator or a normal session. Insert a title and a description and choose your speakers. You can either do this by typing in the name of them, or you can search them in the list. If you can't find the right person, you can create one right here. It's the same model as we right now saw in the person profile section. Select a date and a time frame for your session, as well as a category if you want one. Here you can also find the groups again. So if the session should only be available to a specific group of people, you can configure this here. Now we come to the interactive features. For example, should a rating of the event be possible? What does this mean? Let's have a look over here. This means that your user can rate an event with 1 to 5 stars. What also do we have? Is it possible to create notes? If you activate this, then your user can create notes within this. What else do we have? Should your participant be able to ask questions for the event? Yes, he should. And if you activate this, then this button here will become visible and the user can insert a question he wants to ask the speaker, and these questions will be sent to the CMS. Then can be forwarded to the speaker again so they can slip them into their presentation. The last thing you can activate is should the My Planner option be visible. And if you activate this, then the user can add the session to their own planner and create their personal schedule. Furthermore, you can add votings, wall of ideas, or documents to the session to enhance the user experience even more. You just need to upload or create them first, but we will come to those parts later. Do you like to get in touch with your guests and speakers during the conference? Well, you can use push notifications to send messages to everyone or just a group of people. Maybe to inform them of a feedback questionnaire or that there is a change to the schedule. Create a new notification by clicking on this button. Put in your text and you can also add a link or a deep link into the app. Set a timer when the notification should be sent out, and you can also decide which platforms and user groups shall receive the message. If you want to send a message by yourself, you can do this via the index page. Here you can see those are messages that were predetermined when they would be sent out. And here, those messages don't have an automatic delivery, so you can click on Send, and you will be asked to confirm your action and will get a feedback afterwards if the action was successful. For the app user, the notifications will be collected within the Notification Center. If you want to receive feedback from your users or want to add a survey to your sessions, then you need to create those on the voting page. As you can read in this list, a voting can have a specific time frame or it can always be available. Also, you can decide if the results should be connected to user accounts or completely anonymous, like you can see here. Again, use the Create Voting button to start the setup of your survey. If you want to connect the survey to multiple schedule items, be sure to check that the survey can be filled out more than once by an individual user. Now that you have the first settings for the voting, you need to add questions to it. Go to List Questions and you will come to a new page where you can create and edit the content of the survey. You can choose between 3 different question types: the single choice, the multiple choice, and the text answer. Insert possible answers and decide on a look for the analysis. The results of a questionnaire can be viewed in 2 ways. The first one, that you can also use within the presentation, is the results screen. You can open this one directly from this screen by clicking on Show Results or via the moderation view. As you can see, we added keyboard shortcuts down here, so you could enter the presentation mode and show the screen to the audience. Like, I can activate the full screen, show the results, skip to the second questions, and show the results again. The second way to look at the results is to download them as an Excel file, which you can do here and here. If the voting was not anonymous, you can download personalized results and see which person answered which question, and therefore know how many people participated on the survey. Another way to activate your app users is the wall of ideas. This can be seen as something like a blackboard with a topic so users can post their ideas and feedback for everyone to see. Let's take a look at the app. And here we are. As you can see, posts can have pictures in them, they can be commented on or liked, and you can sort this wall of ideas by likes or by comments, or chronologically. To set up a wall of ideas, you go to the Interaction section and open the Wall of Ideas page. You can give the wall a name, add a little description so your users will get informed what they shall do on this page, and decide if comments, pictures, and anonymous posts are allowed. And that's it. It's really fast, and I can assure you the impact will be enormous. So we will continue with the location plans, or points of interest as we call them. This is a feature that will show your users a single or multiple maps of the event location together with the most important location sites. Again, let's have a look how it looks like in the app. Here are the points of interest. As you can see, there are 2 different plans, and there are the points of interest. In the backend, you have the possibility to create a new location plan and upload a floor plan to them. Here, floor plan has a name and a picture. You can add a name and change the position of the tabs via drag and drop. After you uploaded your new map, you can start creating the points of interest and place them in the right position. A point of interest has a name. It can have a text label or an icon. You can change its colors, and you can even link it to a room, an exhibitor, or to another page of the app. After you insert your points, it will be shown here, and you can then drag and drop it to any position you like. And again, that's it. If we go now to the app, refresh the page, open the points of interest, you can see there is our newly created points of interest. Just now I mentioned that you can connect an exhibitor to a point of interest. This means when you click on the exhibitor stand, you jump right into the detail of said exhibitor, like here. But again, to do this, we have to create the exhibitor profile within the partner section, which can be found down here. An exhibitor profile can contain the name and description and a logo of the company. You can insert different ways to find the exhibitor, like its URL, its location or booth number for the event, a backlink from said location to the profile, which you can look at here. That would be the backlink to the point of interest, and here a link again to the exhibitor. And furthermore, you can add an address with the longitude and longitude, so the user could open a Google map or maybe something similar. Furthermore, exhibitors can have stand personnel. Those are added from the profile section of the CMS and need to be created first. See, like this. Depending on the type of exhibitor and conference, you can also add goods to the profile. Those goods act a little bit like the schedule categories. You add them to the system on a separate CMS page, which would be down here. And within the app, your user will have the possibility to filter exhibitors by groups, like this. Also, if an exhibitor has any company or product information, it can be added as a document. If the exhibitor has a lecture on the event, it can be linked to here. Now, another way to add partners to the app are the sponsors. They differ from the exhibitor feature as they contain much less information, so to create a sponsor is a really fast process. If you have different levels of sponsors, first you need to create categories for them, which can be found here. For example, gold, silver, and bronze. Here there are main partners, support partners, and media partners. According to the number of sponsors per category or the importance of those sponsors, you can decide upon a way the logos will be displayed. Like large, as a list, or as little tiles. After you establish your categories, you head over to the sponsor page to create a sponsor profile, which consists of a name, a logo, the position of the sponsor within the list, the URL, which will be opened when the user clicks on the profile picture, and the category the sponsor belongs to. And that's it. A little more effort takes the creation of custom pages, but the feature gives you a lot of possibilities to get content into the app. With custom pages, you can provide your app users with a welcome video message, give them instructions as to how to find your event location. You can explain certain aspects of the event and much more. But let's create a custom page and take a look. The first thing you need to do after clicking on the Create Page button is to give the page a key that's important for the links, and a name which will be displayed in the page header. Then you can start with the construction of your page. There are a number of modules you can use for this. Drag and drop them into the middle section and fill them with information, like a headline, a spacing so the elements have a little bit air to breathe. You can insert an information text, which you can also edit. You could add a picture of the location or even a button with a link to the hotel website. Let's head over to the app and see what it would look like here. Here we would have a headline, a picture, a map location, which you can also insert, and texts. You have a lot of possibilities to create your own page. As you can see via drag and drop, you can put elements where you like them. You can even insert a video with a YouTube ID. There are a lot of possibilities. The following two features I only want to scrub over a little. After you got your CMS login, you can take a more in-depth look into them and try different things out. Just know that you have the options to upload PDF documents to the app, which can then be attached to sessions or exhibitors or linked to on custom pages. This is a good way to share timetables, presentation slides, or product information. You also have the option to upload images to the app and create a gallery with them. You can have multiple galleries, like location plans. Pictures can be added to the gallery via drag and drop or via the upload button. And you can change the position of pictures within the gallery and add information to them. Now, we added a lot of content to the system. What we need to do now is to put it into order and present it to the app user so they will have the possibility to open the different pages we just created. For the navigation within the app, we have 2 points, the dashboard and the menu. While the menu contains almost every app page you'd like to be displayed, the dashboard is a view that informs the user of possible actions and is like a shortcut to your most important sites, like the schedule or the survey. You can edit the menu in the dashboard in the app design section. Like the custom page, a dashboard can be constructed with a number of predefined modules. You always have the header tag that can communicate your corporate design and the name or key visual of the event. You can enhance the header with different options, like a personal message to your users or a countdown to the event starts. Underneath the header tile, the content of the dashboard depends wholly on your wishes. There are a number of sliders for persons and exhibitors, one-by-one tiles for schedule and surveys, a gallery tile, and a sponsor tile. Those modules are filled with content that was created beforehand and linked to saved features. To insert one of our modules, drag and drop it to the middle section and a pop-up will open where you can edit all of the settings. Depending on the type of tile, there will be different ways to configure it. Just try something out. If you want to link to a certain app page that don't have a predetermined tile, you can use the custom tile. Custom tiles can have a color as a background or an image. You can upload your own picture to customize your app even more, or you can go with an image of our preselection. Add a label, a title, and an icon. Change the color of the text and the icon, and add a deep link to the app page you want to link to. If you don't know this link, insert the tile without the link. Publish the dashboard as it is, and head over to the Features page or go to the menu. Often the menu offers the shortest route to find the correct deep link. Like before, search for the feature you want to link to, drag it into the middle section, and copy the deep link. Now just close the pop-up, you don't need to save anything. Head back to the dashboard and insert the deep link into your tile. As you just saw, it's really easy to construct your menu because you can drag and drop all the items into the place where you need them, like on the dashboard. You can change the position of the tiles as they are. And again, like the dashboard, on the left side you have all available modules that you can drag into the middle section, and on the right side you see a preview of everything you have done just now. On the menu, we discern between items that can be used only once, items that can be placed multiple times, and the custom pages. For example, if you have different groups of guests with specific schedules, you can place multiple schedules in the menu for each group, like this. And again, like on the dashboard, a pop-up opens where you can change all of the settings. For example, you can decide that you only want to show the schedule from the 16th, and that this one should only be available to the guests. And then you can add a second schedule that's only for the 17th, and also only for the guests. Don't forget that you can also change the name of the menu item so it is consistent with the content which lays behind. We also suggest that you insert a list of your speakers or participants, what you can do with the person item. Put it into the center and choose a group of people that should be displayed. The first group refers to the people that logged into your app and completed their setup. The second group are the people you added to the exhibitors. And the third group are the people you connected with the sessions. Of course, you can also create groups of your own that you'd like to display here, like the guests, for example. To give your menu a better structure, you can use dividers, images, or folders. This would be a divider, which you can insert also from here. Here you would have an image, and this is a folder. This way you can sort your menu items into different sections that make it easier for the app user to navigate your event app. Finally, I'd like to show you the last two areas of the content management system, the moderation area and Pivot. In the moderation area, you have the possibility to get a quick overview of audience questions, like here, survey results, here, and wall of idea posts. This is especially interesting for your moderators if you give them a moderator account for the backend. They will only be able to enter this area and use the information during the event and the sessions. For example, they could open the survey and start the presentations of them. Or they could take a look at the wall of ideas and see what was posted. You also have the option to delete posts that don't belong on this wall. Pivot, on the other hand, is an analytics tool and an open source application that's hosted on our servers. This means we did not develop the tool, but implemented it into our CMS so you can get an idea how many app users you have, which kinds of devices they use, or which sites they opened the most. When you open Pivot, you see a number of tiles with different informations. You can adjust those to your likings via the dashboard. And you can also sort them via drag and drop. If you'd like to know how the number changes on the day of your event, select a single day or a time frame to look at the data that was collected during those hours. Please note that even Pivot won't get you the total number of app users or visits. As users have the possibility to deactivate tracking within their app, there is always a dark figure that cannot be counted. Well, this is it. I hope we could help you with the first introduction. We know that our CMS offers a lot of features and settings that at first seem a little bit overwhelming, but I can assure you that you won't need too long to get a hang of things. Just try a lot of things out. You don't need to be afraid that anything could go wrong because you can always change a setting and publish it in a matter of seconds. If you have questions or need help, I can again point you to our help desk that has a lot of helpful articles, and if you get stuck somewhere down the line, please contact your customer support for help. Thank you for watching. Have a fun trying out this CMS by yourself and have a nice day. Bye bye.